Actually, there was this guy I met through a friend, and this guy, we've been in the same area and we've known each other for a very long time, but we don't talk. So one day we exchanged contacts, and through the contacts we began to talk. So he asked me when I'm dating, and I told him no, I'm not dating. So he told me, can we meet and talk? And I said yes. So we talked and talked for a very long time, and then he proposed and I accepted it. So he asked me to come to where he stays, and I went there. When I went there, he was with a lot of guys over there. So he left the guys over there and they came to the room. So over there, we started talking. He started asking me questions, and I started replying him all the questions that he asked. But there was this guy that he normally works with. I think it will be his best friend. So mostly when he comes around and I'm there, he normally leave the room for us to talk. But one evening, I went there to pay him a visit. When I went there, I saw him only with his boxer. And I tried to enter the room, but he didn't allow me to enter the room. So I began to suspect something. So at that moment, I told him I'm leaving. Then I left that place, then went back home. So I was expecting that he would call me, but he didn't. So I returned to that place again, and then I asked him, what is going on over there? He told me nothing, but actually it's his friend who is there. And I was like, but at least you should have allowed me to enter the room. But so far as you didn't allow me to enter the room, it means that there was something going on over there. So at that moment, I got annoyed and then left the place. So for about a week, we don't call each other. He sees me, I also sees him. We don't talk to each other. So later on, he calls me and then he started asking, why is it that these days I don't call him? And I was like, I'm very busy. Most of the time when I close from work, I have to go to church. From church, I have to take my bath and then sleep. He was like, oh, okay, can we meet and talk? And I was like, it will be a very difficult for me to go out. So this guy that I'm talking about is very caring. He makes sure that I don't lack anything. The caring that I was expecting, he made sure to give all that caring to me. So it doesn't even cross my mind to cheat on him, because this guy is very loving and he has shown me a lot of love. So one day he called me to the room and I went there. On his reaction, I saw that he was drunk, and I told him that I have told you never to take alcohol because I don't like alcohol. Alcohol can lead you to a lot of temptation. It was like, oh, their friends were partying, so he just took in something small. So I told him that no, I don't like it. So at that moment, he was about to kiss me. And I was like, no, I can't, because there's alcohol in it, so I can't. So he got annoyed. I was like, I've told you everything. There's no way I'm going to change my mind. Unless you stop drinking that alcohol, then I will do whatever you want me to do. So I left the room and then came back home. He started calling that he needs me right now. I was like, in this condition, I can't come. Make sure that you handle yourself very well. One afternoon, I went there to surprise him. Actually, when I went there, he was lying there, he was asleep. He was wearing only boxer. So I knocked the door. He didn't open it. So I knocked it again. I started calling him. And then he opened. I went to the room. We sat down, started talking. So he was like, hey, this afternoon I'm looking very beautiful. I said, it's just by the grace of God. And he was like, okay, then can we have something? I was like, have something like how? He was like, I feel you know that. I was like, this is not the right time to do those kind of things. Wait for a while. So he started talking, and he started holding me. And I told him that he should wait. He should wait. So this guy got furious because I asked him to wait. So he started forcing himself on me. So I have to struggle with him for me to get out of that room. So the mom knocked on the door and then opened and told the son he should stop what he's doing. At that moment, I was very, very shy. I couldn't even come out of that room. I sat in the room and then wept bitterly because I wasn't expecting that from him. So he stood up from the bed and then he apologized. I was like, what he did, I'm not sure I can forgive him because I told him to wait. So I sat in the room for an hour before going out. So after I left the room, I went home and then I called him on the phone that what he did, I don't want that again. He was like, it's not anything, but you will continue to do it. I was like, okay, since you've made up your mind, you continue to do it. I don't have any problem. So through the incidents, I didn't talk to him for a whole year. The next year, I began to experience certain changes in him. Actually, when it's on my birthday, he will be the first person to wish me. So on my birthday, I was expecting that he would call me to wish me. The next day, I was expecting that probably he would call me to wish me. He didn't. Third day, I met him on the road. So I was like, oh, thank God that today I've seen you. Hey, so even you couldn't even remember that, oh, on this particular day was my birthday. And he was like, he has forgotten. I said, wow, you have forgotten. Don't worry, but for you, I know your own. So I began to mention his date and the year and everything. And he was like, hey, so you kept all those things in your mind. I was like, do you think I'm not joking? When I'm into something, I make sure that I give attention to it. So he was like, he has forgotten the date, so I should remind him of the date. I was like, no, I'm not going to remind you. It means that you are not serious with it. So For about 3 months, I've been observing him at our place. He normally comes there with different guys. So there was this lady around over there, and this lady have been a friend and a moreover to a junior to me. There is no this kind of agreement between us. We are very free. But I begin to see some changes in this girl. So mostly on weekdays, I normally go to park to pray. So one day he came to park, and then I met him. So I was like, please, can I see you for a while? He was like, he needs to attend to some place. I was like, no, what I'm about to say is very important, so you need to listen to it. So this guy was forcing to leave, and I insisted. So we sat down and I began to ask him certain questions. So the first question I told him actually was, I know that he's cheating, so you shouldn't worry about me. And he also replied that, how come I knew that he's cheating? So I told him it's normal thing for every lady to see when a guy is cheating. And he started crying at that moment. So he was like, he's very sorry for what he did. At a spot, I feel like crying because I wasn't expecting him to do that. Even if you don't want to stay, even if you don't want to be with me, you just have to sit down and say, okay, I can see that this relationship is not going to help us move further. So I think this will be the end of our relationship, but nothing. All what I can say is that there is a pregnancy occurring at a different place. So I asked him, who is this lady that she's pregnant for you? And then he mentioned the girl's name. I was like, don't worry, I already know who the girl is. I just want it to come out from your mouth. And he was like, so right now, what are we doing? I was like, what are we doing for what? There's nothing between you and I. Everything between you and I, it's over. The only thing I can tell you is that congratulations, and I wish you well in your new journey. So this guy said, okay, but he can still be with me and the other lady. I was like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. So both of us departed. I went home, and then he calls me that, am I okay? I was like, I'm okay. I'm okay. So he called the following morning to check up on me. He said, are you sure that's okay? I said, I'm okay. If I'm not okay, I wouldn't have gone to work. I'm okay, so I'm at work. I'm teaching. When I'm done, I'll get back to you. So in the evening when I came home, I called him to inform that, oh, I'm home now. So I told him that since there's nothing between us, we can be friends, but there be a limit to everything. So he was okay with it. And then later on, he came back again, and he was like, he don't want that friendship, but still he want that relationship between us, and dating relationship between us. I was like, no, I don't want any trouble. I don't want any trouble. In this case, there's a child involved, and I don't want a child to be separated from the dad, or this kind of broken homes. I don't want that. So you should just focus on the child and then the mom. Whenever he needs something, I'm always around, because I know how he has been good and caring to me. for these things I will never forget. I will never forget those kind of things that he did for me. So with this guy, I was just testing him to check whether he can stay, even if I'm not around, whether he can hold on to himself or keep himself to wait for me. But I realized that he couldn't, because of this influence advice from friends. And I realized that most of the things that he does are coming from his friends. So at that moment, I was shocked. I was deeply hurt. So this is how all it happens. Okay, so this message goes to my ex. Actually, I want to say a very big thank you for whatever you've done for me, and moreover to come into my life and to show me this kind of love and care. I will never forget whatever you did for me. But I pray that whatever went on through between us, you will take it as a lesson, not to do it to the other one too. That's all what I can say for now.